Welcome everybody to the Sheffield United away match preview. Now we are looking ahead to another tricky away game. This time we are visiting Vicarage Road, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. This is the end of the busy Christmas period. It's the last game before a little bit of a break for the Blades. So let's hope we can go into it in good form and get a win here to end this little bit of a sticky run that we've been having. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. So indeed, as I say, it's Watford away this Saturday, and it's been a bit of a tricky run for United. Only 1 point from the last 9 available, and we have dropped down into 3rd place. But bright side, things could be worse. Leeds only managed to draw at home to Blackburn. Burnley dropped points away at Stoke. We are still right in that automatic promotion race. Sunderland have caught us up, but there's still a healthy gap down to 5th. It's still going to be 2 from that top 4, and we are right in the mix. So it's not doom and gloom, despite us being a little bit off form. We're still only 3 points from top of the league. Now, our last game, don't want to talk about it too much, but it was away at Sunderland and it was a 2-1 defeat. And that game was just defined by defensive mistakes and attacking calamities, where United just could not get themselves sorted at either end of the pitch in order to come away with a positive result. If you do want to hear my extended thoughts about the game against Sunderland, if you want to hear me rant a lot about the performance of our centre-halves and the performance of our strikers, please do go and check out the match reaction that I did live immediately after the game on this very channel. Now, Watford have also had an equally bad start to the new year. They lost 3-1 away at QPR on New Year's Day, but under Tom Cleverley, they have a fantastic home record. In fact, so far this season, they've got exactly the same record as United. That is 12 games played, 9 wins, 2 draws, and just the 1 defeat, albeit that their 1 home defeat came in their last home game, a 2-1 defeat against Cardiff. Now, before we get stuck into team news and get stuck into the meat of this preview, let me thank our video sponsors, 𝗫𝗫𝗃 Bar and Grill. Now, 𝗫𝗫𝗃 is a stunning premium bar set over 2 floors. They've got 2 bars, a separate restaurant space, and luxury VIP boxes that are available for private hire. It truly is Sheffield's ultimate social experience, and it is also the Sheffield United Way's designated pre- and post-match bar of choice. All the live football is on if you want to call in there to watch any game, not just the United games. And it is the perfect place for you to meet and hang out with your friends either just before or just after the United games, because it is ideally situated just 5 minutes away from Bramall Lane at the entrance to New Era Square. So, predicted lineup, and I think it's relatively straightforward at this stage. It's clear that United are thin on the ground in terms of numbers. We are struggling to get players back fit. We need this run to come to an end. A little bit of a break between this game and the game against Norwich, which is our next league game. And we'll want lots of players back fit by then, but they're not going to be back for Saturday. So the team that I'm predicting is Michael Cooper in goal, 𝗤𝗵𝗲𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐺 at right back, and Nell playing centre-half. Now, some might think this is reactionary. Some might think that I've lost my mind, but I'm actually going Reece Norrington-Davies to play that second centre-half role. And this is nothing to do with Jack Robinson's performance against Sunderland. This is actually looking at the threats that Watford pose. Watford are a team that attack with 3 very high, well, 2 high wingers, 1 high centre-forward, all fast, and all they're relying on getting the ball in behind. There's going to be a lot of play in transition where they're knocking the ball over the top of our defenders, and we're having to scramble back and making sure we're taking advantage of whatever pace we've got to try and counteract that threat. Now, Jack has his strengths, but he's not fast, and balls in behind, we've seen that be a little bit of a weakness of his. So that's why I'm thinking Norrington-Davies might come in here. He's got a little bit more pace, and he might be able to deal with the threats that Watford are going to throw at us a little bit better than Jack is. Either way, I'd be happy. It's obviously going to be a Nell. It's just who goes next to him. It might be a rogue choice, but I'm going for R&D for this game. It'll then be Burrows playing left back. The 2 central midfielders will be Sidibeck and Tom Davies. We don't have anybody else to play those games. Despite being dropped against Sunderland, after his man of the match performance against West Brom, after an exciting cameo off the bench, I really do expect Andre Brooks to return to the first team for this one, starting in those attacking 3 positions alongside Callum O'Hare and Gustavo Harmer. And for better or worse, it will be Kiefer Moore that starts up front. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts, your ideas in the comments. Have I lost my mind about R&D? Is it worth a shot trying to play on his pace a little bit more? Because I do think that's where they're going to try and hit us, and I think United are going to need to be able to stand up to that threat. Now, to give us the Watford vision, what are they going to look like? How has their season been so far? The opposition view comes from the WD18 podcast.
Hello guys, I hope you are all well and had a good Christmas and New Year despite some of your recent results. Watford versus Sheffield United this Saturday at Vicarage Road. When I'm thinking about the Watford predicted lineup, I think we'll stick with our 3-4-2-1 formation that has served us well under Tom Cleverley. I'd like to see Angelo Ogbonna come back in. He's been a big miss since he's been injured. I imagine Pollock and 𝗵𝗿𝗫𝗏 will play alongside him in the back. The midfield definitely needs to change. We had a midfield two with a combined age of 67 in Tom Ince and Moussa Sissoko against QPR. I'm hoping that Imran Loser is going to come in. He's also been injured alongside 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏, who might not be his preferred position, but he came off the bench and he's been productive for us this season. On the right, Jeremy Ngakia, I imagine, will keep his place. On the left, a bit more of a familiar face for you guys in 𝗍𝗏𝗏. And then our best player, 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, in one of the 10s, and our most influential player in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as the other 10. And up front, I would love to see Daniel JEBBISON get a start. He's been so unlucky so far this season. He has missed some bad ones, but in recent games he's shown the right application, getting in the right positions, and he just needs one goal, and I'm hoping his Watford career can start. And what way it would be to start by scoring against one of his old teams. This season, I think, despite us falling off recently, I think where we are has been a big shot, and Tom Cleverley's done an unbelievable job. A lot of people had us fighting for relegation when you looked at our squad, but Tom Cleverley has kind of unified the team, the fans, the club together, and we've been really solid, especially at home. We did lose our unbeaten record against Cardiff, unfortunately, on the 29th somehow. But I'm hoping at a bouncing Vicarage Road against a big team in Sheffield United, we can get back to another positive performance and a positive result. So prediction, I'm going to go for a 3-3 with Daniel JEBBISON to score.
Now, the referee for this game is David Webb. So far this season, he has taken charge of 14 championship games. He's given out 42 yellow cards, but he has not yet given a red card to anybody. But he's given away one penalty. If he gives us one, would it help? I'd still like one, even if we miss it. You know, give us a chance. Why not? In terms of what he's done in his career, he last reffed United at West Brom away. I don't remember him doing anything atrocious on that one. So hopefully that means that we are in for a pretty decent game with the referee here. Over his career with United, he's reffed us 11 times. He's given us 22 yellow cards and 2 red cards. We've drawn 5 of the 11 games that he's been in charge for, winning 4 and losing 2. That's not bad. We've got worse records. In terms of what he's done with Watford, it is very, very similar. He's reffed them 12 times. They've drawn 6, won 3, lost 3. Almost comparable if United have a little bit of a better winning record. Now we come onto our player connections, and this section is brought to you by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a virtual band, and as you'll know by now from watching many of these videos, a lot of their members are huge Sheffield United fans, and their latest album, Tall Tales of 𝗍𝗿𝗏, is fantastic. Please do go and check them out at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.com. Now, in terms of our player connections, we always pick 4 players who have played for both clubs. And for this one, I've gone for Darius Henderson. He played 105 times for Watford and will be remembered most fondly for scoring in their 3-0 playoff final victory over Leeds to join United in the Premier League back in 2006. He then joined United after leaving Watford and played 72 times for the Blades. But to be honest, I don't know if everybody else remembers this the same as I do. But for me, his most memorable moment at United came in our relegation to League One. He'd been out injured for the majority of the season. United had really struggled, and it had been a constant slide towards the bottom of the division. But lots of fans were starting to get their hopes up. Well, we're going to struggle without Darius Henderson. As soon as he's come back, we'll get better. As soon as he comes back, we'll stay up. He's going to be the one to inspire us to stay in this division. On his first game back, he got sent off, and United got relegated. What more is there to say? Other players that have played for both, Dan JEBBISON, I've already referenced him. Obviously, a really highly rated prospect when he came through at United. Still our youngest player to ever score in the Premier League when he got that goal on his debut against Everton. Unfortunately, injuries have held him back since then, and he's never been able to kick on. And it's been a really disappointing loan spell that he's had with Watford this season. Paul Devlin played just shy of 150 games for United, and then later in his career moved over to Watford, where he made 79 appearances for 𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. What is Watford's nickname? Wasps. Hornets made 79 appearances for the Hornets. Now, if you want more information about Paul Devlin's career and you want to hear a conversation maybe with the main man, you can check out an interview we did many years ago on this very channel. Just search back through your YouTube. And finally, the last player, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 started his career with Watford. He made 250 appearances for them before leaving to join United. Obviously, he initially joined United on loan, but we did soon make that a permanent deal. And he, after not too long with the club, became Sheffield United's captain. He captained us during the triple assault season, but unfortunately was never able to be there to take us into the Premier League. If you can think of anybody else who's played for both, if you've got any ideas, if there's obvious players I've missed, shout them out in the comments. Make sure we know all about them for the next time that we play against Watford, because I'll use them in the preview because I'm rubbish at remembering them for myself. Now, finally, we come to our score predictions. And if you want your score prediction to be a part of these videos, if you want your score prediction to be shouted out on the channel, please do go and join our Patreon. That's patreon.com/𝐻EunitedWay, where you can join for a whole host of benefits. Now, Ray is starting to look at the form. He thinks we're in a bad run. The injuries have started to hit us. He thinks it's going to be another defeat. He's gone 1-0 to Watford. Hal thinks this is going to be a boring game, a 0-0 draw. Nick thinks it's going to be a 1-1. He thinks he's going to be celebrating the birth of his baby with a 1-1 draw. Congratulations, Nick, for whenever that happens. In terms, I got distracted. Sorry, everybody. In terms of those who are more positive, who's thinking we're going to win? Well, Steve, Ant and James and MVB all think that we are going to win this game. 2-1 for Steve, 1-0 for Ant. MVB and James have both gone for a 2-0, and that's where I'm sticking my pin as well. I am feeling optimistic for this one, and yes, that is probably the first sign of the apocalypse, because that never happens. But I do think United will bounce back. I do think we'll win this game, and I am agreeing with the majority score of a 2-0 win for Sheffield United. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know how you think this game is going to play, who you think is going to score the goals. Are United going to finally get back to that sort of winning feeling? And are we going to go into that little break that we've got at the end of this hard run of games with a hard-fought 3 points and maybe back in the top 2? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for listening to this match preview. Go well, up the Blades.